What were some of the biggest writing mistakes you made in the beginning of your screenplay writing, and how did you realize they were mistakes?
I think let me think about that for a second. It's a good question. What are the mistakes I made? I made all sorts of mistakes when I was starting to write. But I think I don't necessarily think of them as mistakes, and more just like, I think it's just the process of learning, and I'm happy that I was able to, have the time to just keep writing and writing and writing. Things that jump to mind when I think about like my particular early mistakes. I think one, I was a little scared of trusting my own point of view. I think I was relying too much on the models of screenwriting, looking at books on the hero's journey and 3-act structure and now some of the more evolved stuff. I was obsessed with those things. I was trying to find an answer in them. And at the end of the day, like, I do think that they have some use, but no, for me, I realized when I just let go of that and just ask myself like just core emotional and dramatic questions, first of all, actually, sometimes it would result in stuff that actually had that structure anyways inherent in it. And even when it didn't, it still worked. So definitely like the sort of avoiding the structure. I think honestly also not outlining and spending enough time planning. There's such a temptation to feel like you're not getting anything done until you type on the page. And I feel like if anything, what I've learned in every time I write a screenplay, I think I now spend longer in the brainstorming and then outlining phase each time. Realizing that it's so easy to think, I just typed a scene, like that means I made progress. But if it's not the right scene, not the right entry into that scene, not the right characters, not the right time, that time doesn't really get me anywhere. And so I'm really trying to and it's hard to do that. It's hard to stay in the brainstorming phase because it can feel like, oh my God, I'm not making progress. Quite literally, we use page count as like our metric of progress. I wrote 5 pages today. And I do think that is, I think in some ways like destructive to the creativity. Like there are times in which I've sat for an hour staring out the window and had no good thought until the final 2 minutes, but that one idea was so good, shapes the whole film, that hour, the 58 minutes where I didn't think of anything was worth that 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes might be worth weeks of writing just to have that right sort of, brainstorm. So for sure, I think I rushed too quickly into writing pages. Was another mistake I made. And then lastly, I really do believe, it's related to outlining, I don't think you should start writing the movie until you know the end. I think the end of a movie is so important because it should inform everything that comes before it. I think it's, in some ways, no matter whether you're making a super clear movie or some ambiguous movie, whatever the ending is, it's, in the classic setup of like a joke, if that's the punchline, the setup has to be right for it. And I think writing any pages before you know where that's coming is a mistake. Even if your ending is open-ended, I think you need to know you're leading to that. And so until I know the end, I won't start writing.